G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Flashlight Crazy. Today I'm doing a comparison video. I've got the Olight Seeker3 Pro and the Acebeam E75. Let's check them out. Alright, so here they both are, up close and personal. Now, I'm shattered I couldn't get the green one of the Olight so I could show you the difference in greens, but that's okay. I think it's nice to have a bit of a different color in them both. Now, let's look at the Olight first up close. So the Olight is, not many people are going to be strangers to the Olight Seeker series. This is the most recent Seeker in the Seeker series before the Seeker 4 Mini. So before the Mini, this one is the most recent one. It is the most powerful, and let's go through it. So we've got 4 LEDs down there, and we have a proximity sensor. So basically what the proximity sensor does is when I've got it on turbo, if I go close to something, it shuts it down to medium, I think. And then when I let it go, bang, comes back to turbo. So it is a good thing to have. I think some people don't like the proximity sensors. I think they're okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with them, to be honest. Now we do have a black bezel on this blue finish. So this is kind of the reverse of what the typical classic Olight color scheme is. I think it's really nice, this color scheme here. And we do, okay, side switch. Now this side switch is pretty cool. However, I actually prefer the side switch of the Seeker 2 Pro, where it's just the button, whereas this is a button and a turning wheel. See that? Now, it's nice because you turn the wheel and you see the battery level, what it's on, and then you turn it again and you see what output it's going to come out on. So it's going to come out on the third highest output, which is high. So that is good. However, the turning wheel, to me, it does make the side switch feel a little less durable. That's all. The rubber clicky that you get with the Seeker Pro 2 just makes the light feel a little bit more durable in terms of protection. I just reckon that, there's more that could go wrong with this turning wheel. Don't get me wrong, it is cool, but it's not my preference. Now we've got heat sinks on the head, we've got heat sinks on the neck, although this is actually, these are actually openings to put a pocket clip on. So this does not come with a pocket clip out of the box. Very important, because this does. So that is definitely something to take into account, but you can mount a pocket clip to this. So just know that. Now the rubber grips. I think the rubber grips on the Seeker series, the Seeker Pro series, so you've got the Seeker 2, no rubber grips, Seeker 2 Pro, rubber grips, Seeker 3, no rubber grips, Seeker 3 Pro, rubber grips. So the Pros have rubber grips, and I think they're brilliant. I think that the rubber grips are awesome, not just for grip and for comfort, but also they reduce heat, so that when you're holding this on turbo for a lengthy period of time, you don't burn your hand when the body heats up. And the body does heat up, which I'll show you in a heat test. Now, you've got a magnetic tail cap. However, I'll show you at the end that this magnetic tail cap is not as powerful as this one. So both these lights are fine to go vertical, magnetized to something like that. But horizontal, the Acebeam will hold, whereas the Olight will not. And so that's important to know as well. This is how you charge the light, through this. Anyone who knows Olight, you just slap it on the back and good to go. And that's about it. I'll go over some outputs when I compare the two, but that's about it for the light up close. Take another look. Really nice light. And look, it's very comfortable in the hand. It really is. The Seeker series, they've got their measurements right, I feel like, because it is a very comfortable light. One last thing about this that I just realized when I push the button is that if you leave this off for, I think it's like over a minute or two, or maybe even less, it automatically locks. So when I push it, nothing happens. But if I roll the roller, the turning wheel, and then push it, it comes on. So that's just something to note. All right, the Acebeam. So the Acebeam I'm actually really impressed with. I'm actually quite taken by this light. For a number of reasons. Firstly and foremost, I'm going to say that I'm taken because there are 4 Nietzsche 519A LEDs in here. And I really think that Olight should offer some neutral or warmer tints in their Seeker series, because not everyone wants cool white, you know? I thought I loved cool white until I discovered things like Nietzsche 598 in the 5000 Kelvin. After I discovered that, I realized how beautiful it is. And, you know, just to give you a quick shot, I'm obviously going to do night shots, but look at the difference there, man. I mean, this here, the Acebeam, it's so much more pleasant to look at when you point it at the things you're looking at. It just really is more pleasant. So number one, that's a really, really amazing kind of thing to add in a handheld kind of floodish light, or, you know, it's not a floodlight, but, you know, in a handheld EDC light, I should say, because it's really a great EDC light. I know it's a bit thick, but it's a great light. Very, very good, strong light. Good for the glove box, just whatever. And then the next thing is the bezel. This bezel's very, very tough, and I don't know what it's made of, but it feels very strong, and it looks awesome. But I actually really think that bezel is something to talk about. It's a really, really cool bezel, very strong, and I'd feel very, very confident if I accidentally dropped this face down that the bezel would look after the light. So that's awesome. Now, we have some heat sinks on either side of the neck. Not too deep, not too crazy, but we do have them. And look at this. So we've got a two-way pocket clip. You can put this on your hat, although it is heavy, but you can do it. I've done it. But I'm pretty sure the two-way pocket clip is more for just to be able to carry it lens up or lens down. This does have a very duty light feel to it, meaning, you know, notch it on your vest, take it out if you're an SES responder. So, you know, I mean, even a police, whatever, it feels very duty-like. It's got a really tough feel to it. And everything down to the pocket clip, which is screwed in, by the way. How cool is that? But also the side switch being very, very tough and strong, surrounded by these tough little areas that offer you an LED for battery level indication. So it just feels like a tough light from start to finish, and I love it. I really, really, really love it. Now, charge the Olight through the magnetic tail cap, charge the Acebeam through the USB-C charging port. And now I'm not a fan of USB-C charging ports. I'm just not. However, have a look at how deep that is. Seriously, that is so deep. And then watch this. See the lip there, that thick lip? Watch this. Boom. That is so satisfying. You know when some lights have a lip and it just doesn't really quite fit in, and you're thinking like, how long would that have taken to just make it fit properly? Well, this fits beautifully. Beautifully. So this USB-C port, I actually do not mind. I'm happy with it. And just to let you know, guys, I really, really love this light. I know I'm not trying to, you know, crap on the Olight. The Olight is a magnificent light, but I've reviewed this up against the Seeker2 Pro, and I preferred it. And now I'm reviewing it against the Seeker3 Pro, and we will see how the night shots go. But the tough, durable feel of this light, how well made it is, plus the Nietzsche 519A LEDs, it's just, this thing is awesome. And I'm so taken by this light. If we have a look here, the bezels are basically matching up identically. The Olight has probably 2 mil over the Acebeam in terms of height. But everything else, I mean, the tail cap is a little bit thinner, whereas the Olight's tail cap's a bit thicker. That probably makes the Olight a little bit more comfortable to hold, whereas this tapers in a little bit, which I would prefer if the tail cap was a bit more tapered out. But they are just very, very similar in terms of feel in the hand. Very, very similar. I probably prefer the Olight just over the Acebeam, purely because the tail cap is a bit thicker and the rubber sides. I reckon those grips are awesome. They make for very, very comfortable light. But I do just want to mention the pocket clip in the Acebeam, because the pocket clip is it's situated in such a perfect symmetrical way that it falls right in the creases of your fingers when you hold this light. I cannot even feel the pocket clip when I do this. Like, I know it's there, I can feel it, but it is not obstructing my grip whatsoever. So that is really, really cool. Now, let's do a bit of a comparison in outputs, shall we? So just get this unlocked. Okay, so press and hold from off, and then press and hold from off. and you're going to get your moonlight modes. So moonlight for the Acebeam is 1 lumen, which you'll get for 26 days. That's an amazing moonlight mode. And moonlight mode for the Olight is 5 lumens, which you'll get for 15 days. So I think the Acebeam wins there. I do, man. 1 lumen, awesome. That's a really, really perfect moonlight mode. Now, press and hold. Press and hold. Okay, so you can also cycle with the turning wheel on the Olight, but I'm just going to press and hold for ease. Now, the Acebeam has moved up to 30 lumens in low mode, which you'll get for 2 days and 12 hours. And the Olight has moved up to 50 lumens, which you'll get for 55.5 hours. Now, press and hold, press and hold. So, Acebeam has moved up to 150 lumens for 16 hours. Olight has moved up to 300 lumens for 10 hours and 40 minutes. Press and hold, press and hold. Oh, damn. There we go. That was the proximity sensor. So, Acebeam is now 450 lumens for 4 hours and 40 minutes. The Olight is now 1200 lumens for 135 minutes. Then it's going to drop down to 600 lumens for 35 minutes. Then it's going to drop down again to 300 lumens for 10 minutes. Now, there is an extra output with the Acebeam, so I'll just move this up without moving the Olight. So press and hold, that is 1000 lumens. That is going to get you 1000 lumens for 1 hour and 45 minutes. Then it will drop down to 150 lumens for 1 hour. So 1000 lumens over here on high, 1200 lumens over here on high. An hour and 45 minute runtime on 1000 lumens, 135 minutes. That's over 2 hours, which you'll get for on 1200 lumens for the Olight. And then they both step down. But here you get to really see the difference in color temperatures and beam profiles. Massive hotspot in the Olight, nice tighter hotspot in the Acebeam, and we will have to check the spill and peripheral light when we do night shots. Now, to get to turbo, you do need to double click, because if I cycle, it's just going to go back down. So cycling the Acebeam back to low, cycling the Olight back to low. So double click, double click. Now, the Acebeam is 3000 lumens, which you'll get for 1 minute only. Then it's going to drop to 1000 lumens, which you'll get for an hour and 40 minutes. Then 150 lumens for an hour. The Olight, you're going to get 4200 lumens, which you're going to get for 2.5 minutes. So more than double the runtime and an extra 1200 lumens. That's something to note. After 2.5 minutes, though, the Olight will eventually step down to 1200 lumens, which you'll get for 127 minutes, so just over 2 hours. Then it will drop down again to 600 lumens for an additional 35 minutes. So Olight definitely has the Acebeam covered with runtimes, absolutely. But I think the Acebeam's got the Olight covered in your moonlight mode. 1 lumen from moonlight mode, absolutely fantastic. Now, they both have strobe and it's triple click. So let's just unlock this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it's just pure craziness. So get rid of that because that is really disorientating, especially in this little room. Now, let's do a heat test. Let's see how they go, how hot they get, how comfortable they are to hold. So on, double click, let's go. Okay, that is no joke. 58.4 degrees Celsius. Absolutely hectic. Yep, that is proper hot. And the body and the tail cap are also very, very warm. However, the rubber make it all worthwhile because you can still hold it and not be really concerned. The middle bit here is quite warm though. The side switch is also quite warm, but the rubber grips make it very easy to hold. So that is a really, really massive plus for the Olight. Okay, so what do we have? 58, around just over 58 degrees Celsius, whopping. All right, let's go, bang. All right, 56.6 degrees Celsius. So how does this feel? Well, I can still hold it. Well, I can still hold it. It's not too hot, although the pocket clip is getting warm because obviously it's metal, so it's conducting heat very well. The side switch I can hold, but it is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. It's not burning me, but it's uncomfortable. The head is really hot, and so is the neck. But the body it's bearable but uncomfortable. This would be much more comfortable if it had rubber grips like the Olight. So Only 2 degrees difference though, 58, 56 degrees Celsius. Alrighty, so let's take them outside and see how they do in their night shots, in their natural habitat. And then we'll come back for some final thoughts, prices, where to buy, and which one I'd choose. See you in a sec. All right, so that's the Olight. And of course, you would expect just a whole lot of light. And now, that's the Acebeam. Still a whole lot of light, but in my opinion, a nicer light. Olight, screaming bright. Acebeam, bright, but easy on the eyes. You know? Olight, that's a good one. Olight there. Acebeam. And now no light. Acebeam. Olight. So, I mean, look, the Olight's got it. This isn't, I'm not trying to say that the Acebeam has got it over the Olight in light, but I'm trying to show the difference in high CRI, 5000K, and just, you know, freezing cold, cool white. And remember, 3000 lumens here, 4200 here. Over in the field, 4200 Olight, 3000 Acebeam. Olight, Acebeam. I'll try it this way. Olight, Acebeam. Olight, Acebeam. I just like the Acebeam color better. I do. It's just pleasant. Olight. Definitely more light coming out of the Olight. You know, if you want a floodie that is just, you know, offering you a lot of light, don't care color temperature, then Olight's you go. But if you do care color temperature, then Acebeam's you go. It has to be. Larger hotspot Olight, more of a beautiful color temperature, in my opinion, is the Acebeam. Olight still going strong, and Acebeam, I believe, is stepping down now. But still, remember, it's 1000 lumens now that it stepped down to, and it will sustain this for ages. So once Olight steps down after 2.5 minutes, it will go to 600 lumens, whereas Acebeam is going to stay at 1000 lumens. Let's see if I can push it until the Olight steps down. Acebeam's still at 1000. Olight. Let's see, we should notice a significant step down with Olight, and it should be coming up very soon. Acebeam still going strong at 1000 lumens. Olight looks like it's still going strong. I reckon that's more than, oh no, here we go. Yeah, so that is now stepped down. Oh yeah, that has definitely stepped down. Okay, Acebeam, Olight. Now, Acebeam, Olight. After the step down, let's go here. Olight, Acebeam. Olight, Acebeam. So, I don't know about the camera, but my vision, the Acebeam now looks brighter. Yeah, with more light. So, that's something to notice. Olight, Acebeam. Olight, Acebeam. All right, I'll see you later. Holy moly. All right, let's talk night shots. So, the Olight, of course, it's got more light. It's got an extra 1200 lumens. It's got an extra 1200 lumens coming out of it. So, I get it. But also, it's cool white as opposed to the Nietzsche 5000K. So, you've got to take that into account when you are assessing what type of beam you want, because the Olight's got the typical massive, oh, hang on. There we go. The Olight's got that typical large hotspot coming out of it. I would say that the Olight is more of a floodlight than the Acebeam. I feel like the Acebeam's got a lot of flood, but it does have more of a distinct hotspot and a smaller hotspot. Whereas the Olight's got a much larger hotspot. It's almost like a total internal, even though it's not. So it's a very interesting beam profile the Olight has. But the light coming out of it is cool white, and it's 1200 lumens extra. Whereas the Acebeam, that's where the Acebeam lands in terms of beam profile. So you've got your smaller hotspot, your more distinct hotspot, and then you've got all this peripheral spill. So I don't really think that the Acebeam is designed to be a floodlight despite having 4 LEDs like the Olight. But I do think the Olight is more of a floodlight than the Acebeam. However, what the Acebeam has over the Olight is the niche. So this is where, again, your preference in color temperature is going to come into it, because I know the Acebeam has a cool white edition, but the niche 519A in this light is absolutely superb. And it's my choice. It's hands down my choice. So let's do a bit of a positive and negative. So, okay, positives about the Olight are the rubber, definitely love it. Negative about the Olight is the tail cap magnet, not that great when you're talking horizontal. Whereas the Acebeam, horizontal, not a problem. So we do have a much stronger tail cap magnet in the Acebeam than we do in the Olight. But again, a pro for the Olight is definitely that it's got 1200 more lumens, and some people are going to see the cool white as a much more preferable color temperature. I guess the next pro and con is going to come up to preference as well. I'll just get it up here. So the LEDs that give you the battery and the output. I love that, I really do, but I'm not a fan of the turny wheel. So the Acebeam's side switch, I certainly prefer more because I'm not a fan of these turny wheels, but I love the LEDs on it that tell you the battery level and the output. I think that's great from Olight. So it's kind of like give or take, really. It's like if I want the battery level indicators from the Olight, I've got to cop the turny wheel, or if I don't want them, or if I want the side switch of the Acebeam, then I can't get the battery level indicators. So it's a swap. But again, now this is where the Acebeam kind of pulls away a little bit, in my opinion, from the Olight, because the Acebeam has a screwed on, durable as anything pocket clip that is a two-way pocket clip, whereas the Olight doesn't even come with one. I know you can buy one, but it's a big deal that it doesn't come with one. It's weird, in my opinion. Also, the onboard charging is not a plus or a minus for me because I don't particularly like onboard charging. However, this one is extremely deep. It has a very, very deep lip, as I showed you, and you get an extra rubber seal in the box with this Acebeam. So that is big. And then finally, guys, it's the bezel. For whatever reason, this bezel just feels so much more durable than this one. And even just feeling these two lights, I know they're spec'd the same with drop resistance, but even just feeling these two lights, the Acebeam feels stronger and more durable, and I would trust dropping the Acebeam over trusting to drop the Olight. That's just me. But price is going to come into it. So this is the blue edition, and it is one of the colored editions that are a special edition. So this one actually comes in at $220 from lightshop.com.au, but the original Seeker3 Pro comes in at $200. So you can save $20 if you don't mind what color. Whereas the Acebeam, it's not yet at lightshop.com.au, but it is on the way. However, from Acebeam Direct, this is $99 American. So that's probably going to bring the price up to like $170, $160, depending on where the dollar exchange is. So it is cheaper. It's cheaper than the Olight. And, you know, I feel like you're getting just as good a light. And to be honest, with the niche, you're getting a better light for what I like it for in the Acebeam for less money. So both great lights, both great lights, really. Both great tools to use. But, you know, my preference is definitely going to be the Acebeam. So what's your preference? Give me some feedback in the comments, guys. And thanks very much for watching. Until next time, stay cool and stay safe. See ya.